will be recording this orientation. So we are hoping that, so we'll be sending you an email with the orientation details, and this will be kept as a record for you, as you know, for you to be able to have access to it whenever you need to need to remember anything. If you have any questions, you can put in on chat. So chatting is allowed. You can actually type in your questions if you have any questions for me or for Ms. Banks. Ms. Banks is also, Ms. Margaret Banks is also present, and she is our academic dean. So she will be also talking to you and chatting with you while you're here. So let me just introduce our institution. It's Skokie Institute of Allied Health and Technology. Thank you. I'm sorry, we were supposed to start at 11:30, and for some reason, sometimes with these click to meetings, a lot of times they don't work the way you expect them to, and that's why I just wanted to double check before it was working, and then it started giving me an issue. So I wanted to make sure that all our students who registered are here. So, and also wanted to make sure that I am recording this so that it's present for you as a future reference. I will also be putting this on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, so I'll be sending you the links to that. So I am the executive director of Skokie Institute of Allied Health and Technology. I am Miss Dr. Bella Kaiser. And today's agenda and topic that we're going to discuss is history of the company, our vision, who is who in our institution. We started an institute. We started last year in 2016. So student responsibilities, assignments, online management system, and then our student management system that we have. So history of the company, SIAHT which is also Skokie Institute of Allied Health and Technology, or you can abbreviate it and call it SIAHT, was founded in 2016. The vision, goal, and mission was that we are a nonprofit education organization. We try to provide the community with hands-on training, and our purpose is to lead our students to economic independence and entry-level positions. Goals is we focus on quality education, we focus on students, and we also focus on employer demands. So you'll see when you go on our website or when you register for our programs are not, you cannot find in everywhere. Our programs are very exclusive to our institution. And our values is we highly focus on students, we value our student learning approach, we are committed to diversity. So we ensure that our organization attracts, develops, respects, motivates, and retails highly skilled students without regards to race, ethnicity, gender, disability, personal background, religious beliefs, sexual orientation. And one of the main reasons why we decided to do it as an online institution. The third is we strengthen our relationship with partners. So our partners include our organizations that we have partnered with, and some of the institutions and some of the companies that look forward to hiring our institution, or also are looking to hire our institution. And our main purpose is that we want our students to succeed. One of the reasons why our tuition is very low, one of the reasons why we are not, we don't require a lot from our students. So basically, the next is faculty and staff. So I am the executive director. Then we have the academic dean or dean of admissions and academics is Miss Margaret Banks, and then our admissions manager is Miss Linda Kevorkian. The good thing about our institution is that we have all, Miss Kevorkian, Miss Banks, and I, all of us have been in this field of education for a long time, and we know how students, how to relate to students. We have also taught for a long time. I have been teaching for almost 11 to 15 years. Ms. Banks has over 25 years of experience. Ms. Kevorkian has over 6 years of experience in working in the education field. So as a result, you are connecting with people who are who are very, very open to how the students should be working to your needs, to your, and they understand. So you will not be dealing with people when you come to our institution and you join, you are not going to be dealing with employees or with people who basically you might feel like are not relating to your problems, relating to your issues, not trying to help you. You will get the help because we all belong in the same field. And the institution, when the board of directors started this institution, they specifically asked us to join because they knew that our background is so diverse. So the next faculty and staff that you need to know, I'm providing you with our emails. So basically the executive director and the academic dean, because we have been teaching in the field and our fields relate a lot to what our programs are, you will see us teaching you as an instructor also. The second and the third term, depending on your programs, if the programs are not, like there's some programs that you might not see our academic dean and executive director teaching, like example is the pharmacy technician that will be starting, and then we have a neurophysiology technician that we will be starting. You will not see us teaching you those courses because those courses do not relate to our experience. We will make sure at that time that the students get the best instructors that have the experience in the field. So you have these emails, Ms. Kevorkian's email, executive director's email, and academic dean's email. I gave you all the emails, their SIAHT email and their other personal, our general email, and also our phone number, just in case if we need to. Usually, if you will email us, because we are online, you will hear from us. We'll either, if needed, we'll either talk to you or we'll email you, or if it's needed for a personal visit, you can always come into the Glenview office, visit any of our staff. Now the I didn't miss any slide. Okay, so the student responsibility, students do, when you register for the programs, you do want to make sure that you read the chapters beforehand. Now the programs have been designed for a full-time working student. So we kind of kept that in mind. So in other words, you have 2 courses at a time. So if you look, when you get that email access to your course, I would like you to go into your LMS and then we'll discuss that. We'll already discuss that, but you want to look at the syllabus. The minimum hours required for you to be learning in that syllabus is, or in that course, is 5 hours. So in other words, if you're working full time, what my suggestion and what our academic dean's suggestion is to set up a time after you come from work, maybe an hour, 2 hour every day, and then you read one chapter, then you read the second chapter, even if you give 5 hours every day. So this way, your assignment will be due, you'll be given enough time to read and submit the assignments. The assignments are due Saturday or Sunday of each week. First, due to some personal reasons or due to some any personal reasons that you could not submit your assignment on time, we would like you to communicate with the instructor, or if you're running behind or you will be leaving on vacation, and you feel like you might not be able to take your laptop or tablet with you, or you might not be able to work, or you might not be able to study during that time, just let us know ahead of time and we'll give you enough time to make up. But if you study a little bit during the week, by the time weekend comes in, you will not feel overwhelmed with have to read 2 courses, 2-3 chapters. For each term, you are given a makeup week. So you have last week and then you have another finals week. The last week actually is a makeup week. So if you miss any assignments, you can email or discuss it with the instructor to make sure he or she knows. And then you can submit the assignment during that week to get credit for it. Now, whether the instructor wants to give you full credit or partial credit, that's up to the instructor. But you do need to let her or him know. Even though we are online, we do want you to succeed. So we also need you to be responsible to let the instructor know that you will be submitting assignments other than the due date and communicating with them. It's very, very important that you communicate with us, because that's the only way we can keep in touch is by communicating with you. We are online, so we want our students to let us know ahead of time if there's anything going on. We are not talking about discussing personal things. Just let us know that due to certain reason, might be personal, you don't need to let us know what it is, you will be submitting your assignments late. Or you will have, if there's some issue with a midterm or a final, just let us know. Now, books will be ordered per term for all the programs. So for each term, you will have a book. So we do not order the whole books at once, um, because the books are, I'll be honest, the books are pretty big. So a lot of times it can overwhelm a student. So to prevent that, I usually order the books per term. So once your term is about to end and you are about to go to the second term, by the ninth or the 10th week, I will contact you and let you know that, okay, your books for the second term have been ordered, or the books for the third term has been ordered. If you like to purchase the books on your own, then you can email me and then I'll email you the list. But if you order it through us, because we have a contract with the publishers, you get them at a discounted price. So you save 50% on the original price. So a book may be 150, but with us you'll get it for 70 or 75. And that's a new book with online resources that are available to you. While if you get this on your own, like let's say through Amazon or through Barnes and Noble, you might get the book cheaper. It might be a second, but there's no guarantee. I mean, if it's a second hand book, you will not be able to get the online resources for that. So that's one good thing about buying the books through us. Please make sure to communicate on a regular basis. We are online, so the only way for us to keep in touch is via email. So I can't stress enough for that. If you are contacted by the dean or the executive director and don't communicate, um, you can be dropped, because we'll communicate with you maybe 2 times, 3 times. The maximum is 3 times, and if we don't hear from you, and we don't see any progress in the learning management system, that you're not submitting your assignments, and you're not answering us back, then we have to assume that the student is not going to be continuing with us. So assumption. So a lot of times communication is the best way not to assume anything. Um, Student handbook and other documents. So if you already had registered and you had paid the registration fee, then all students had been emailed a copy of the student handbook for your record. You will also receive an academic calendar. You will also be receiving a tuition plan, just to help you understand or to see how you can pay, because a lot of times tuition plan is easier for students to know how much they should be paying in order to complete their tuition. Once a year, the student handbook is updated, and you will be sent the new updated handbook via email. So you will get a handbook once you've registered and you have paid the registration fee, you have filled out the enrollment agreement form, and you've been given a copy of that enrollment agreement. Then if the handbook falls on a year that we need to update it and you are still with us, we will send you an updated copy too. Now I would like to talk about the online learning management system. So all the students who have registered naturally were required to provide an email. The online learning management system that SIAHT uses is Schoology, and it's very interactive. It gives you a lot of interactions. Even though it's not face-to-face, you will feel that you are interacting with the instructor and with each other. If you have classmates, you will feel like you're interacting with them because of the way the program is designed and the way the learning management system has been designed. So after this orientation, you will receive an access code from your instructor or from me to join the course. Once you receive the email, you have to follow the following directions. Now I'll go to the next slide, and then you can see what it looks like. So you can actually go to our website, and our website has 2 links. There's a student portal and student LMS. You click on the student LMS and you see something like this. If you directly go on this link that you see, https www.schoology.com higher@, you will see this thing. So you can either log in or sign up. You have to go to sign up. Once you do that, you will then see what comes in the next slide. this is the slide that you see. Now through our LMS on our website, it directly takes you to this. So there's no confusion of where I should be going or what should I be doing. The easiest way is to go to register for the first time. You can just go on our website, click on student LMS, and it will take you there. Instructors who are signing up for their classes are also provided with a code, so they have to follow the same instructions. Now, if you're a student and you need to sign up, so you click on student. Once you click on student, it will ask you an access code. So this is the next slide. Okay. So if you look at this slide, it shows you sign up for Schoology access code. Now you're signing up as a student. So you put in the access code that the instructor had emailed you or I had emailed you. And then once you do that, you will then be asked to create a whole account. You will have to write your name, your first name, your last name, your email. I would suggest keep the email that you send, you give to us or the school as the email. Create an account with that email so that it doesn't become confusing. I created a dummy student because I wanted to show you guys how to get familiarized with this, and believe me, it was I get confused sometimes because it's so many emails now that I don't remember. So it's as a student, looking at it as a student perspective, just use the email that you gave me or the school, or when you registered for the programs, and use that email to create an account for yourself. So when the instructor will email you, she can email you through the system, and you will get that email. If there's an update, you'll get an email on that email. So in this way, you're not getting confused or you're not getting behind on reading your emails. So now this next slide, once you create your account, you will be directed to the LMS. It looks like this. So this is how it looks now. This is from the dummy student's perspective that I had created. I'm sorry. I had created. So you see how the student is registered for anatomy and physiology for fitness trainers, and she joined this course, and this is what it looks like. So there are no updates, there's no recent activity, but you can see the assignments, the upcoming assignments. So when she goes, because she hasn't hit a course, you can't really see anything. Now okay, I think I skipped a lot. Oh, 1 second. This is what happens when somebody, okay. Let me go to the slide that I went. I'm sorry, guys. Here. Okay, so now the second thing, she wants to join the course. So in order to join the course, for you as a student per term, you have to be in 2 courses. So now you want to join the course, you'll be given the access code for both the courses. So you put the access code in there, and then it will allow you to go to the next course. And then in order to join our SIAHT group, you enter the access code to join the group. So when I'm going to take you back to the same page. So if you go back to the same page here, if you see, you have home, courses, groups, and resources. So this is for you as a student. Courses, you have to put the access codes for 1, 2, 3, or how many courses you are registered for. And since you already have the course from the instructor has given you permission. It's not going to give you any problems. It will, you can access the course right away. And I'll take you to that window also. But if we have a group that we have created in our LMS. So in order to do that, you have to go to group. When you click on group, it will say join, and then it will ask you an access code. So I'm going to take you back to the slide number 15. So it will ask the access code, and an email will come from the executive director, because the executive director is managing the group. Please look at the next slide to see how it looks. The access code is this, and the group is for SIAHT students to come together, interact, and get to know each other. So Our first students were really shy. They have not really interacted with each other, which I was really hoping to do. I'm hoping that the students that are joining us this term will be a little bit more interactive. I understand that, we don't see each other by face to face, but we're still the same students. What I was looking for everyone was just to, come together, talk about things that you want to discuss among the students a lot of times, but it's not personal, but it's something that we as instructors and we as the moderators can take a look at. And in this way, you don't feel like you're the only one. And that was the main purpose of this group. And I'm hoping that the students that come join us this term are going to be a little bit more interactive. Our first term students, I only saw one student who was a little interactive, and the others were really shy. So now I'm going to take you to the next slide. This is what it will look like. See, it's asking you to join a group, and then you have the access code. So then you put in the access code, and email will come back to me. It will let me know that if I allow the student to be a part of the group, and I will say yes. And then once I do, you can see the group on your own. Now, I'm going to, if there are no questions, are there any questions right now? Okay, so I will take you to the next slide now. So the points that you want to remember is that once you've logged on into your course, you'll be able to see the weekly assignments as well as the syllabus. You will be able to print out your syllabus if you want to keep a copy. If you want to keep a copy of any of your assignments, you'll be able to do that too. You can print them out. You will also be able to see the resources as the PowerPoints online resources, if there are any for that specific course that will help you understand the materials. The assignments will be uploaded on or before the due date. So you might see a week to week, or you might just see the whole week assignment. So it depends on the class of the way the instructor created it. Some instructors create assignments as they go on a weekly basis, and some instructors create the assignments all together. Once you go into the system, you can see all the assignments. So I'm going to take you to the next slide. So you see this one, it has all the assignments in there. This is the fitness trainer class, and it has all the assignments in there. So you have week 1, week 2, you have discussions, everything is already in there. Now, example of how to submit the assignments. So now when you are submitting the assignments to the instructor, we're giving you an example. Let's go to week 1. The assignment is already there, and it has the questions there. It will ask you to submit. So you click on the submit assignment button, and then it will ask you to either upload, create, or take your course from a resource that you already had. So either one of those, you will then write the name of, and then if you need to add a comment for the instructor, like, okay, any comment that you feel like the instructor should know about the assignment, you can go ahead and do that too. And then you click submit. The assignment will go to the instructor, and when the instructor will look at the name on that week assignment, she will see the students who submitted the assignment. So if there's any assignment that's late because there's a due date, it will say late. That doesn't mean that you are in trouble. It's just that if there was an issue with you submitting an assignment and you had to submit it after the due date, it will, the instructor would already be aware of it. If there are no questions, do you guys have any questions? As always, you can add the chat. You can send a message right away for me to know. I will go ahead and go to the next button. Now, the next slide is example of submitting discussion questions. Discussion, the way it has been catered is that if you have classmates, so depending on your program, you might have classmates or you might not have classmates. So whatever the program is, because it's an online course, it doesn't always mean you will have, you know, you'll have classmates. Sometimes you do, some courses you do, some courses you might not. So if you do have classmates, you will be able to look at their discussions. So if there's a discussion question, for example, there are two discussion questions that the instructor posted. The student has to discuss both the questions in detail, and then when you are ready to uh, put in your discussion, you will be able to see your classmates' discussion. You can also answer or respond to the discussion. If you have classmates, then you are required to respond to your classmates' discussion at least once. So you, so the purpose is for you and them to be interactive. So you can ask them a question, or you'll see the instructor interacting with you, saying, "Okay, please respond more, or please elaborate to this question. What do you mean by whatever the topic was, or whatever you pointed out in that topic?" And the purpose is for her and for them to know that you are understanding the material. Um, the next slide is example of midterm and final submission. Midterm and final exams are going to be multiple choice, true and false, matching short answers, depending on your course. For fitness trainer and for nutrition, the midterm and the final questions will be taken from the NAFC, which is National Association for Fitness certification exam also. We're not saying that the whole format will be there, but you'll see some questions from the certification exam. And the purpose is to get you to know and familiarize with their with their language and what type of questions they're asking. So you can use your materials, you can use your books and references to answer the questions. You only have one attempt, so be very, very careful, please. I cannot stress this enough. I had one student who was trying to just glance at the midterm this term, and she almost lost it, because once you glance at the midterm to look at the midterm or the final, the LMS will basically look at it as an attempt. If you once you start your midterm or final and without completing the final exam, you hit submit or click submit, LMS will consider this as an attempt, and you will not be able to retake the exam. So if you have any questions before that, make sure to contact the instructor so then he or she can guide you, because we don't want you to lose your attempt. If we have given students second chances, we have given them two chances. The reason for that is if there was a problem with this term when we had the midterm. Unfortunately, the main server for the LMS, something happened to it, and students could not access the midterm or the final. It was a big issue, and it had nothing to do with the student. So we had to go in and allow the students to retake the midterm and the final. So they're gonna be, if there are situations like this, we will then help you. It's not like, okay, something happened and you were not able to access it. The next slide will show you what it looks like. So this is how this is a midterm exam with the anatomy and physiology for fitness trainers. So you can see there's an instruction, and if you want to start the attempt, it will say, okay, start. And once you start the attempt, your LMS is counting that as an attempt, and it's grading. Now, I did this just to show the students, so I got a grade of 2 out of 197. I did not complete the whole final because I just wanted you guys to take a look at it and get an idea of what you will be seeing or what to expect. Updates regarding the course. Any updates will be provided by the instructor in the updates section of your course. So you will also receive an email when the instructor posts the update. So that's why I asked you to remember what email. You can, if you want, you can ask me to send you a copy of your application, I can do that, so you can look at the email that you provided. Because a lot of time, like all of us, some of us basically have more than one emails, but we forget what email we used. So if you're not sure and you would like to take a look at it, just email me and I'll send you a PDF copy of your application that you filled out, so that you can take a look at the email, see what email you provided us. So because that email will be used by the instructor and by the LMS for you to be able to contact. You'll also receive an email when the instructor posts an update. So this is what it will look like. See, these are all the updates that I had made with that student. I'm actually talking to the other student who was actually enrolled in the course, but this is because I created this dummy student and I registered her in this course. She gets this update every time whenever I give an update. Do you guys have any questions? Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Grade reports. So student will be emailed a grade report after the midterm and the final exam. During the first 6 weeks, if the student is not performing well, he or she will be contacted by the instructor. We have an online student management system also. You will be able to see your report card and your grade report in that student management system. It's called Quick Schools. Once you're registered, you have filled out the enrollment agreement and completed all the steps that I just mentioned, you will receive an email from Quick Schools and you will be able to access that student portal. And the student portal is for you to look at your grades. If you need an unofficial report, instead of contacting us, you can go in there and you can print it out. It will also give you a way of tracking your, even though you'll get a tuition plan, it will also give you a way of tracking how your tuition. So it will give you an idea of how much you have to pay or how much you owe to the school. Student is always welcome to email the executive director or dean with his or her instructor with any concerns. If you're contacted, please make sure to contact the instructor back, answer them. The midterm and final grade will be visible after the due dates have been assigned and all students have completed the exams. Also, the grade report on the learning management system also will be able to show you your grades. So once the instructor grades your assignments or your discussion or your term paper, you want to see how you're doing, you can always go into the grade report, into the grade book of the LMS, and it will give you an idea. If you're missing anything, it will give you an idea of what you are missing. And if that is something you feel like is really affecting your grade, then you can contact the instructor to say, if you could resubmit it or submit the assignment that you missed. Quick School Student Management System. Like I mentioned, you'll receive an email from the online student management system called Quick Schools. The email will have your username and password. That's system generated. So it's not generated by me or by the person who's preparing your, adding you as a student. It's Quick Schools' own student generated, system generated email, username and password that they will provide you. The program allows you to view your transcripts, your grade, track your tuition along with registered classes and instructor information. It will also tell you who your advisor is, which is usually the instructor, the dean, or the executive director. So in summary, we are very excited that you are a part of our students. We value you as a part of our community. And because we value our students, the courses will have a syllabus, weekly assignments, and resources or discussion on for your courses. Your course will have the whole detail, and your syllabus will give you everything. But the syllabus will give you an idea of what assignments you have to expect. The ones that are in the LMS on a weekly basis are your responsibility. So you don't have to worry about less. In the LMS, you might see a discussion and an assignment, both, but in in the syllabus, you might just see assignments only. If the LMS says that the student has week 3 assignment to complete and week 3 discussion to complete, that is what you are required to do, and that is what you will be graded as. But in the syllabus, it might say assignment week 4 and discussion week 4. But when you go on the LMS, you only see assignment for week 4. You do not see a discussion. Do not worry. You only do the ones that are that that are in the LMS, because that is what you've been graded on. The rest in the syllabus is for your resource, for your extra study. If you would like to study extra, that is what it is for. Once student receives an email from the instructor, the student has to log in into the system within 1 to 2 business days, and you can create an account. Once he or she logs into the course, she can then start working on the assignments. Please make sure to log into the LMS at least 3 to 4 times a week, or just to make sure that you're not missing anything. I had one student who was not logging into their LMS the whole week, and then all of a sudden she would log in into weekends, and I would start getting emails from her regarding her assignments. And as a result, what happened was the student got so behind that she had to drop. So even though she started maybe 2-3 days late, she wasn't that behind in the beginning. But because she was not looking at the assignments and she was not looking at her LMS on a maybe 2 to 3 times a week, if you do that, that should be fine too. If you are sitting on your break and you have nothing to do, you have your tablet with you, I would suggest just go on an LMS just to see if you're missing anything. And then in this way, you will be informed. Usually you'll get emails from the instructor. Make sure to look at those, and then you will be okay. Any questions? So I'm sorry we went a little over the time. We will be sending you this webinar via email. If you missed the webinar, you will have this as a recording for yourself. If you have any questions, please make sure to email me or the academic dean. The emails are in the webinar. If there are no questions, then we will end this orientation. We welcome you into our institution. We're really glad that you're here, and we really hope that you enjoy and you enjoy your experience. You stay with us, just like we enjoy having you as our student. Thank you.